Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Linda. Here on this channel, I share videos about sewing, pattern drafting, and everything fashion. On today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to cut and stitch this simple shirt with single collar. So if this seems like what you're interested in, you might definitely want to hit the subscribe button and tap on the notification bell. Without further ado, let's just dive into the main video. So guys, here on my work table, I have my fabric laid out on fold. And the next thing I did was to take the length of my top. Okay, so for the length of my top, I choose 30 inches. So I'm just going to make that more than 30. I'll be adding about 2 inches to the length for the hemming allowance and the shoulder joining. And the next thing I'll be doing is to cut the front piece and the back piece together. So I'll further fold my fabric into two once more to get about 4 folds. And then I'm just going to measure what I have for the wideness. Okay, so now the first thing I'll be doing is just to go ahead and take my shoulder measurements. For my shoulder measurements, I'll have 8 inches, and then I'm just going to mark that around this place. And then for the neckline, I'll be using 3 inches, okay? 3 inches for the width of the neckline. After that, I'm just going to be measuring the back neckline, which is 1 inch like this. And then the next thing is just to go ahead and connect it into a curved line. And then after that, I'll go ahead and measure the front neckline, which is 3 inches. So mind you, I am measuring the two bodies together, the front and the back piece together. So I'll just go ahead and cut it one after the other when I am done. So for the shoulder slope, I measured 1 inch like so, and then I'm just going to connect it into a slanted line. And next I'll be taking the armhole measurement. So my armhole, which is 16 inches divided by 2 is 8. I'm just going to mark that like you see me doing. Next I'll be marking the quarter of my bust circumference plus 1 inch is allowance, and then plus 1 more inch for the stitching allowance. And then I'll just go ahead and connect the lines. After I was done connecting the lines, the next thing I did was to draft the back armhole. So I'll just go ahead and connect it with my curved ruler like this and then cut it out. Now I have 2 pieces for the front and the back piece, and then I'll just go ahead and set one part for the back and work on the front piece. So for the front, I'll just go ahead and trim out the front neckline. Now this is the reason why I choose to cut out the back neckline first of all. And afterwards, I'll go ahead and trim out the front armhole and then open it up in the middle. So my front piece has been divided into 2, and I'll go ahead and measure what I have for the center like this. So I'll be cutting my plackets using this measurement. One is going to be 3 inches and the other side is going to be 2 inches. This is because one of the plackets will be formed as a buttonhole, while the other part is going to be the button holder. So these are my plackets. This is for the 3 inches width of the placket, and now this one here is the 2 inches. To attach this, I'll go ahead and place this particular placket, the 3 inches one, like this. So I'll be facing it up right side to right side, facing each other, and I'll go ahead and stitch it by 0.5 inch all the way like this. And then I'll fold it into 2 equal halves to close the back as well. It's going to look somewhat like this after I am done. Let me just go ahead and rephrase this. So for my plackets for this part, I'll be placing this particular one like this, and then I'll place the main placket like this. I'm going to be sandwiching these particular bodies in between. So for this particular one, the second one, I'll be placing this underneath like this on the right side. The right side is going to be facing upwards, and then I'll cover it this way and then stitch on it by 0.5 inch and then flip it upwards like this. I'm going to be explaining that much later. So for the sleeve, I've gone ahead to cut out this particular sleeve length of about 8.5 inches. I'll be adding a turnover sleeve to design it a little bit, and I'll be measuring 4 inches at this point for my sleeve cap. This is where I'm going to insert my armhole measurement. So I'll go ahead and roll a straight line like this. After that, I'll be taking half of my armhole measurement, which is 8 inches, and I'm just going to insert it there. So because it's a free top, I'll be marking 9 inches. For a detailed sleeve tutorial, I have a video on how to draft a basic sleeve plus other kinds of sleeve on my channel. You can go ahead and locate that, okay? But I am still going to explain this one as well. Next, I drew a straight line at this angle downwards. And the next thing I'll be doing is just to go ahead and find the midpoint of this particular line. So what I have here is 10 inches and half of it is going to be 5 inches. That is going to be my midpoint. So for me to give the shape of the sleeve, I'll go ahead and use my curved ruler and create a curve like this above it, and then I'll create the same curve below it. This is going to form an S curve to give us the shape of the sleeve, and then I'll trim it out. After that, the next thing I did was to measure the circumference of my upper sleeve. For that, I have about 7 inches. I'm just going to mark 8 inches there, and then I'll be adding freeness of 1 inch and then stitching allowance of 1 inch. And now I'm just going to connect the lines and then cut out the excess. So here are the turnover strips of fabric for my sleeve. The width is the same as that of my sleeve. So what you see me doing right now is basically spreading my sleeve on the right side in order to attach my turnover for it. And for that, I'll be having something like this after I am done stitching the turnover to the sleeve. So I'll just go ahead and place the turnover like this, folded into half underneath my sleeve, and then stitch it. Afterwards, I'll flip it upwards. So this is what my shirt is looking like. I'm halfway done. I'm going to be attaching the collar and then the sleeve, and also I've gone ahead to stitch the side. So this is the placket. I'm not entirely done attaching it. So you can see that I went ahead to attach it like this, and then I pressed it and flipped it upwards like this. To do this, you need to be attaching it like this. The placket is going to be under the bodice, then you flip it upwards. And then for the other part of the placket, which is the 3 inches width placket, I went ahead to attach it like this, right side facing each other on top of each other, and then I stitched this by 0.5 inch, and then also I'm going to be folding it into 2 equal half like this, and then stitch on it from the back, making sure I am covering the other rough edges. So this is what the plackets look like after I was done completing the stitching. This is also how it looks like from the back. I went ahead to give it a good press, and then this is going to be for the button itself, and then the top one like this is going to be the button hole. Next, I'll be working on the sleeve. This is the sleeve, and I've gone ahead to attach my turnover to it. This is how it's looking like. I went ahead to attach it on the wrong side after I was done making a fold on it, and then I stitched it and flipped it upwards. I also didn't forget to top stitch on it. So guys, the next thing I did was to go ahead and measure the neckline for my shirt. By so doing, I'm just going to use my tape rule and then measure what I have for this point all around. So I'll just go ahead and place my tape rule like this and then carefully take the measurement. Also remember to give it a notch at the midpoint. Just go ahead and fold it into 2 to get the midpoint at the back. So I have 19 inches in total for the neck, and I'll be placing the same measurement on my collar. So I also added 1 inch to this collar because I'll be using ½ inch to close them on both sides. So I'll just go ahead and fold it this way and then make a notch at the middle like you see me pointing, and also stitch the sides like this. And after I was done stitching the sides, the next thing I'll be doing is just to go ahead and fold one part like this by ½ inch. And then I'm just going to press it down with my iron. This is how it looks like after I was done. I also have a video on how to stitch and attach a collar, so I'll just go ahead and link it up here. So guys, I'll be placing my back piece like this with my collar facing down, and I'll be matching it at the midpoint like this before stitching it down, and then I'll rotate it and stitch the back side. But first of all, I'll just go ahead and close the both ends like this at this point. Now this is what I have after I was done stitching my collar. And this is how beautiful and simple it is looking like. Okay, now this is a very free top you can use to rock your shorts, your jean trousers, and then your 3/4 trousers. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing is just to go ahead and make my buttonholes, and of course attach my buttons as well. And we have come to the end of the tutorial. Guys, if you love this video, kindly give me a thumbs up and then tell me what you think in the comment section. When I was pressing this top, I mistakenly burnt it a little bit because of the nature of the iron I was using. So please take care and don't burn your clothes like I do to mine. I'm going to be changing the iron pretty soon anyway. If this video has been helpful to you, kindly hit the subscribe button and also tap on the notification bell. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Okay, tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.